Welcome to Road Ready Recaps. Are you looking for a concise and full overview of Washington Driver Guide? You are at the right place. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Driver License. This chapter outlines Washington's licensing requirements and procedures. It includes license types, applications, renewals, testing, and resident rules. Who needs a Washington license? Residents must hold a Washington state driver license to operate a motor vehicle. You are a resident if you vote, receive state aid, pay in-state tuition, or intend to stay over 6 months. New residents must obtain a license within 30 days of moving to Washington. Non-residents and exceptions. Non-residents over 16 with valid licenses may drive in Washington. This includes students, military personnel, and short-term visitors. Enhanced licenses are required for federal access and air travel after May 7, 2025. Types of licenses. Instruction permit allows supervised driving for learners over age 15. Intermediate license is for drivers aged 16 to 18 with restrictions. Enhanced license allows land/sea border crossing and is Real ID compliant. Motorcycle, trike, and commercial licenses require specific tests or endorsements. Instruction and intermediate licenses. Instruction permit requires knowledge and vision test unless waived by driver training school. Intermediate license, for ages 16 to 18, requires training, 50 hours of driving, and test completion. Intermediate drivers face hour and passenger limits, and penalties for violations include suspensions. Standard and enhanced license, driving for learners over age 15. Standard license, available at age 18, requires ID, residency, and passing all exams. Enhanced license, valid for border travel and federal identification, requires additional documentation. Licenses are valid for up to 6 years and may be renewed online, by mail, or in person. Vision, medical, and testing. Vision test is mandatory. Restrictions added if corrective lenses are used. Medical conditions or medication may require special documentation. Knowledge test includes 40 questions, 32 correct required. Driving test includes safe operation. Photos, facial recognition, and renewals. License photos must show a full unobstructed face view. Some items may be removed. Facial recognition is used to detect fraud. Information is not shared without legal authority. Renewals available up to 1 year before expiration. Late renewals may require retesting. Updates and replacement. Name changes require in-person visit with supporting documentation. Address changes must be reported within 10 days and can be done online. Lost licenses can be replaced online or in person. Fees apply. Maintaining your license. And renewals. Licenses can be suspended or revoked for DUIs, traffic violations, unpaid tickets, or using false documents. Repeat offenses or fraudulent behavior lead to license revocation and legal penalties. Intermediate license violations can result in restriction extensions or suspensions. FTA and registration rules. Failure to appear, FTA, leads to license suspension if not resolved within 45 days. Sex offenders must register with local sheriff within 3 days of establishing residence. Failure to comply with registration laws can result in criminal charges. Other licensing services. DMV offers ID cards, voter registration, organ donation enrollment, and selective service registration. Abstract driving records can be accessed by you or authorized third parties for a fee. The Twin Registry helps medical research. Participation is voluntary. Chapter 1 Summary. Washington offers several license types, each with clear steps and eligibility. Next, we cover vehicle checks, safety measures, and insurance requirements. Chapter 2. Before you drive. This chapter covers essential vehicle checks and driver responsibilities before hitting the road. These habits reduce risk and improve safety for everyone. Understanding risk. Risk comes from the driver, vehicle, and road conditions. Inexperience, speed, impairment, and distraction are major crash factors. Avoiding crashes begins with safe habits and recognizing risk early. Young drivers face the highest crash rates and must be extra cautious. Insurance requirement. All vehicles in Washington must carry liability insurance or a $60,000 deposit. Minimum coverage, $25,000 for injury, $50,000 total injury, $10,000 property damage. Proof of insurance must be carried at all times while operating a vehicle. Checking your vehicle. Inspect brakes, lights, wipers, tires, and windows regularly. Windshield and mirrors must be clear for safe visibility. Tires should have proper tread depth and air pressure checked when cold. Make sure all required lights function properly, especially before night driving. Secure your load. Use ropes, straps, or nets to secure items. Cover with tarps if needed. Loads must not shift, fall, or become airborne during travel. Unsecured loads can cause crashes and are punishable by law under Maria's Law. Failure to secure a load may result in a $5,000 fine and jail time if injuries occur. Clean glass and adjustments. Clean inside and outside of windshield, mirrors, and lights regularly. Adjust seat for clear visibility, comfort, and proper control access. Set rear and side mirrors to minimize blind spots. Remove objects from windows and mirrors that can obstruct your view. Seat belts and child restraints. Seat belts are required by law for all occupants. Failure to use them carries fines. Children under 13 must ride in the back seat when practical. Children must be in approved car seats or boosters based on age and size. Never place the shoulder belt behind the back or under the arm. Proper use of restraints. A properly worn belt lies across hips and chest, not the neck or stomach. Child restraints must follow both vehicle and seat manufacturer instructions. Lap-only belts may be used for children over 40 pounds without a booster. Booster seats are for children under 4 feet 9 inches or under age 8, whichever comes first. Chapter 2 Summary. Before you drive, check your car, secure your load, and buckle everyone properly. Next, we'll explore key driving laws and rules of the road in Washington. Chapter 3 Rules of the Road. This chapter covers Washington's traffic rules for signals, signs, markings, right-of-way, and parking. Learning and applying these laws helps you navigate safely and avoid penalties. Traffic signals. Green means go when safe, yellow warns of red, red means stop. Flashing red equals stop and proceed when clear, flashing yellow equals caution. Green arrows allow protected turns, red arrows prohibit turns. Always yield to pedestrians and bicyclists even with green signals. Lane control and pedestrian beacons. Lane signals, red X, green arrow, indicate which lanes are open. Pedestrian hybrid beacons flash yellow, then red when activated by walkers. Drivers must stop when red lights flash and proceed cautiously after. Sign colors and shapes. Red, stop/prohibited, yellow, warning, green, direction. Blue, services, brown, recreation, orange, construction. Octagon, stop, triangle, yield, diamond, warning. Rectangles give regulatory or guidance information. Regulatory and warning signs. Obey speed limits, lane directions, and parking signs. No U-turn, no passing, and yield signs regulate movement. Warning signs alert to curves, crossings, merging, hills, and more. Work zone signs require slower speeds and caution, fines double. Railroad and slow-moving vehicle signs. Yield to trains, crossbuck signs act as yield signs. Never cross if lights flash or gates lower. Orange triangles indicate vehicles traveling under 25 miles per hour. Call emergency numbers posted at crossings for stalled vehicles. Pavement markings. Yellow lines equals opposite directions, white equals same direction. Dashed lines mean passing is allowed, solid lines restrict passing. Medians and crosshatches are not for driving or passing. Crosswalks, arrows, and stop lines guide road positioning. Bike lanes and special markings. Bike lanes marked with symbols and white lines. Never drive in them. Bicycle boxes provide space to stop at red lights. Yield to bicyclists and give at least 3 feet when passing. Sidewalk bicyclists have the same rights as pedestrians. Roundabouts and reversible lanes. Yield when entering a roundabout. Circulate counterclockwise. Reversible lanes use X or arrow signals. Follow indicators carefully. Move out of a lane with a steady yellow X as soon as safely possible. Reserved and shared lanes. Stop lines guide road positioning. HOV lanes are for high-occupancy vehicles, marked by diamonds. Transit/bike lanes are restricted to authorized users. Two-way left turn lanes are for left turns only, not travel or passing. Traffic flow and enforcement. Hot and express toll lanes require good to go. Accounts. Never back up on freeways or stop in travel lanes. Obey officers and roadside personnel. Move over for flashing lights. Automated traffic cameras enforce red lights, school zones, and speed. Turning and U-turns. Turn from the closest appropriate lane into the nearest correct lane. Avoid wide turns that cross into adjacent lanes. U-turns are illegal on hills and curves where view is limited. Follow signs that prohibit U-turns. Right-of-way rules. Yield to pedestrians and bicyclists at all crossings and sidewalks. At intersections with no signs, yield to vehicles on the right. Yield when entering roads, during left turns, or merging into traffic. Always yield to emergency vehicles using lights or sirens. School buses and transit vehicles. Stop for buses with flashing red lights unless separated by a median. Remain stopped until children are safely off the road. Fines double for violations and cannot be reduced. Yield to buses re-entering traffic from stops. Parking and no parking zones. Use Dutch reach to avoid opening doors into traffic or bikes. Never park in bike lanes, crosswalks, near hydrants, or tunnels. Colored curbs indicate restrictions. Red/yellow equals no/limited parking. Follow hill parking rules to turn wheels and use brakes. Parallel parking. Stop even with the car ahead and back slowly into the space. Turn wheels sharply to align with curb. Your vehicle must be within 12 inches of the curb. Use mirrors and check traffic when parking or pulling out. Chapter 3 Summary. Follow signs, signals, and lane markings to safely share the road. Next, learn safe driving strategies, communication techniques, and hazard response. Chapter 4. Safe driving tips. This chapter provides strategies for avoiding crashes, responding to emergencies, and safely sharing the road with others. By anticipating risks and understanding traffic dynamics, drivers can protect themselves and others. Defensive driving techniques. Defensive driving means staying alert, being aware of your surroundings, and anticipating the actions of other drivers to avoid crashes. You should always have an escape path and maintain enough space between you and other vehicles to react safely. When driving defensively, avoid distractions and prepare for sudden changes in traffic flow, such as hard braking or vehicles merging unexpectedly. Scan your path ahead, look to the sides, check your mirrors every 5 to 8 seconds, and glance over your shoulder before changing lanes. Maintaining space and visibility. Use the 3-second rule to maintain a safe following distance behind other vehicles and increase this gap in poor weather or low visibility. Avoid driving in other vehicles' blind spots and position your car where you can be seen clearly by others, especially large trucks and buses. When stopped in traffic, leave enough space between your vehicle and the one ahead to see its rear tires and maneuver if necessary. Always drive with your headlights on in reduced visibility conditions and ensure your windshield, mirrors, and lights are clean and clear. Communication and awareness. Effective communication with other road users involves using your signals, brake lights, horn, and eye contact when necessary. Signal your intentions at least 100 feet in advance and cancel the signal after completing the maneuver to avoid confusion. If you need to stop suddenly or slow down unexpectedly, tap your brakes a few times to alert drivers behind you. Make sure to yield to pedestrians and cyclists and maintain a courteous and cooperative attitude at all times. Handling distractions and fatigue. Driving while distracted, whether by mobile devices, eating, or adjusting controls, significantly increases the risk of a crash. Focus solely on the task of driving and avoid multitasking, which can divert your attention from changing traffic conditions. Fatigue impairs reaction time and decision-making, so take breaks on long trips and avoid driving when drowsy. If you find yourself drifting in the lane, yawning frequently, or missing exits, pull over in a safe location and rest. Driving at night and in weather. At night, use high beams in areas without oncoming traffic and switch to low beams when another vehicle approaches within 500 feet. Night driving requires slower speeds due to limited visibility and the potential for glare from headlights and streetlights. In rain, fog, or snow, reduce your speed, increase following distance, and use low-beam headlights to improve your view of the road. Roads may be slickest just after rain begins, so brake gently and avoid sudden movements in poor weather. Managing emergencies and skids. If your vehicle begins to skid, ease off the accelerator and steer in the direction you want the front of the car to go. Avoid slamming on the brakes, which can worsen a skid. Instead, use gentle, steady steering and braking. In case of brake failure, pump the brakes several times, shift to a lower gear, and apply the parking brake gradually. For tire blowouts, grip the steering wheel firmly, slow down gradually, and steer off the road once you regain control. Dealing with vehicle failures and collisions. In the event of a crash, stop your vehicle as close to the scene as safely possible and check for injuries before calling 911. If your car breaks down, move it out of traffic if possible, activate your hazard lights, and set up reflective triangles behind the vehicle. Never leave the scene of a crash involving injury or property damage, and exchange information with all involved parties. Always report collisions to your insurance provider and, if required, to law enforcement authorities. Sharing the road responsibly. Yield the right-of-way to pedestrians at crosswalks and be prepared to stop when children are present near schools or parks. Give at least 3 feet of space when passing bicycles and be alert for hand signals indicating a rider's intention to turn or stop. Do not block crosswalks or bike lanes and always respect transit vehicles that are merging back into traffic. Watch for motorcycles, which are smaller and can be harder to see. Check your blind spots and signal clearly before changing lanes. Driving under the influence and aggression. Never drive under the influence of alcohol, cannabis, prescription medications that impair driving, or illicit substances. Even a small amount of alcohol can affect your reaction time and decision-making, making driving unsafe and illegal. Avoid aggressive behaviors like tailgating, speeding, and cutting off other drivers. Such actions escalate risks for everyone. If you encounter an aggressive driver, stay calm, avoid eye contact, and do not engage. Safely change lanes or pull over if necessary. Chapter 4 Summary. Safe driving requires clear thinking, space management, hazard awareness, and responsible decision-making. Next, we'll explore how to navigate special driving environments, including highways, hills, and inclement conditions. Chapter 5, In Shape to Drive. This chapter discusses how physical, mental, and emotional conditions affect driving safety. Learn how alcohol, medications, fatigue, emotions, and health conditions impact your ability to drive. Driving is a complex task. Driving safely requires the ability to see clearly, move quickly, think logically, and react promptly. You must continuously assess changing road conditions, monitor your vehicle, and interact with other drivers. Any condition that impairs thinking, focus, or movement can lead to increased crash risk. Alcohol and impairment. Alcohol reduces judgment, coordination, and reaction time, key abilities needed to drive safely. Even a small amount of alcohol, BAC under legal limit, can impair driving performance. Washington's DUI laws apply to alcohol, marijuana, and other drugs, including prescription medications. Zero-tolerance laws prohibit any alcohol for drivers under 21. Marijuana and other drugs. Marijuana can impair coordination, judgment, and reaction time, even in small doses. Prescription and over-the-counter medications may cause drowsiness, dizziness, or blurred vision. Mixing drugs or combining them with alcohol amplifies impairment and crash risk. Read warning labels and consult with your doctor before driving after taking medication. Fatigue and drowsy driving. Driving while fatigued affects focus, slows reaction time, and increases crash risk, similar to alcohol impairment. Most fatigue-related crashes occur late at night or in early morning hours. To avoid drowsy driving, get sufficient rest, avoid heavy meals before driving, and take regular breaks. Pull over and rest if you feel sleepy. Caffeine is a short-term aid, but not a substitute for sleep. Emotional and mental state. Strong emotions like anger, stress, or sadness can impair judgment and increase distraction while driving. Take time to calm down before getting behind the wheel if emotionally upset. Do not engage in arguments or upsetting conversations while driving. If mentally distracted or overwhelmed, delay driving until you regain focus. Health conditions and driving ability. Chronic conditions like epilepsy, diabetes, vision impairment, or heart disease can affect driving safety. Drivers must self-monitor and may be required to report medical issues to the Department of Licensing. Adaptive equipment or driving restrictions may be necessary for certain health conditions. Medical evaluations may be requested to determine driving fitness. Medications and responsibility. It is your responsibility to know how medications affect your ability to drive. Never drive when using drugs that impair alertness, coordination, or reaction time. Mixing medications can cause unexpected side effects or increase impairment. When in doubt, do not drive until you confirm it is safe with a healthcare provider. Young and older drivers. Teens are more prone to risk-taking and are statistically involved in more crashes per mile. Older drivers may experience slower reaction times and declining vision or hearing. Both age groups must regularly assess fitness to drive and practice defensive habits. Medical screenings and licensing requirements may vary with age and health status. Chapter 5 Summary. Being in shape to drive includes being alert, sober, emotionally stable, and medically fit. Next, you'll learn about driving in emergencies. Chapter 6 Emergencies. This chapter prepares you for vehicle emergencies, crashes, and law enforcement stops. Knowing what to do can prevent panic and improve safety in high-stress situations. Brake failure and tire blowouts. If your brakes fail, pump the pedals several times and downshift to slow the car using engine braking. Apply the parking brake gradually and steer to a safe location off the road. For tire blowouts, grip the steering wheel firmly, ease off the gas, and allow the vehicle to slow gradually. Do not brake suddenly, coast to a stop on the side of the road when safe. Headlight failure and hood latch issues. If headlights go out, try switching to high beams or using the headlight switch repeatedly. If that fails, use your hazard lights and pull off the road immediately. If your hood flies up while driving, look through the gap under the hood or out the side window. Slow down and pull over safely while keeping attention on the road. Vehicle fires and engine failure. Pull over quickly, turn off the ignition, and move away from the vehicle if you see smoke or flames. Do not attempt to put out the fire if it's near the gas tank. Call emergency services immediately. If your engine fails, shift to neutral, steer to a safe place, and restart if possible. Turn on hazard lights and stay in the vehicle if you are in a dangerous location. Steering and acceleration problems. If steering fails, ease off the gas, turn on hazard lights, and coast to a stop. For stuck acceleration, shift into neutral immediately and apply steady brakes. Do not turn off the ignition while moving. It can lock the steering wheel. Pull off the road and turn off the engine when it is safe to do so. Stuck in snow or water. If stuck in snow, avoid spinning the tires. Rock the car gently forward and back to gain traction. Clear snow from the exhaust pipe to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. If sinking in water, unbuckle your seatbelt, unlock doors, and exit through a window quickly. Remain calm and act quickly. Water pressure builds rapidly and can trap you inside. Crashes and reporting requirements. Stop immediately at the scene of a crash, provide help if you can, and call 911 for injuries. Exchange name, address, insurance, and vehicle information with all involved parties. Move vehicles off the road if there are no injuries and damage is minor. You must report crashes involving injury, death, or over $1,000 damage within 4 days. Being stopped by police. Pull over safely and promptly when signaled by law enforcement. Turn off your engine, stay in the vehicle, and keep your hands visible on the steering wheel. Wait for the officer's instructions before reaching for documents. Stay calm, cooperative, and respectful throughout the encounter. Chapter 6 Summary. Emergencies require quick thinking, calm action, and knowledge of safety steps. Next, we'll explore how traffic violations affect your record and driving privileges. Chapter 7. Vehicle Licensing. This chapter outlines the requirements for titling and registering your vehicle in Washington. It also explains emissions rules and penalties for expired tabs or insurance violations. Titling and registering a vehicle. New Washington residents must title and register their vehicles within 30 days of moving. You must visit a vehicle licensing office to complete the process in person or online. Required documents include the vehicle's title or lien holder info, identification, and proof of ownership. License plates and registration tabs must be displayed correctly and renewed annually. Emissions and special cases. Some vehicles in specific counties may require emissions testing before registration. Electric vehicles, hybrids, and vehicles under a certain age may be exempt from testing. Out-of-state vehicles may need additional inspections or VIN verification before licensing. Military personnel and students may qualify for extensions or alternative documentation options. Insurance and violations. Proof of liability insurance must be carried in your vehicle at all times. Driving without insurance or with expired tabs can lead to fines and license suspension. If pulled over, failing to show proof of insurance may result in a citation and added penalties. Online systems allow you to renew your registration and update your insurance info quickly. Chapter 7 Summary. Registering your vehicle and maintaining proper insurance are legal responsibilities in Washington. Next, explore how the licensing system monitors driver records and enforces penalties.